Good evening, I'm Chris Ensing. As COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations continue to soar, Windsor-Essex is heading to lockdown.
We just have, a few weeks here to try to get it right to make sure we don't overwhelm our healthcare resources. And I do think that this was the right move at this time.
It's welcome news for exhausted healthcare workers and officials who've been calling for this, but business owners say it's going to be a brutal holiday season.
The second wave, like we're all forewarned, is going to be kind of harder than the first.
Going over the holidays, it's extremely hard when you have to lay all your staff off.
The new restrictions, the toughest in the province, come into effect on Monday. A live look outside now at the Ambassador Bridge. It's 5 degrees in Windsor, and there could be some winter rain on the way. Colette Kennedy with the full forecast tonight. On Monday, there will be major changes to the way you live your life. As the health unit reports a single-day increase in triple digits once again, there are new restrictions coming down from the provincial government. Let's take a quick look at what the province and health officials are asking of you. Social circles, that bubble, those are done. They want you to limit your contacts to whoever you live with. Don't go inside anyone else's home. If you live alone, you can have close contact with one household. There's the exception. You're being asked to stay home as much as possible as well. Only leave if it's an essential reason, like for groceries. Work, that's an essential reason, but the new restrictions ask employers to have people work from home wherever it's possible. Restaurants and bars will take a hit, takeout or delivery only. No more indoor or outdoor dining. You won't be able to get your hair cut starting Monday. Personal care services will be closed. Essential businesses can stay open, but at 50% capacity. And any place that is able to open has to have enough space to allow for 2 meters of distance between customers while they're standing in line. These restrictions are going to last until early January at least. CBC's Katerina Georgieva joins us now live. Kat, you've been reporting on this all week. For many, it may not be a surprise, but for everyone, it has consequences.
Yeah, Chris, these are tough measures for what many have been warning is a dire situation. With the hospital's ICUs at capacity, with the virus spreading rapidly throughout our community, officials hope that an even tougher approach will help change the trajectory of what's been happening. But as you mentioned, this will impact smaller businesses, restaurants and bars in particular. Owners say that they do understand why this had to happen, but that doesn't make it an easier pill to swallow, especially having to do so for the second time this year.
This time we have to do the same thing, but I think at this time we're just mentally exhausted. Not are we just mentally exhausted, but we're physically exhausted. And to me personally, I feel like I just have no more power. Everything's just being taken away from me and I can't control it anymore.
Heartbreak, right? This is the second go for us. So we've gone through the first one kind of blind, and now we're going into the second one with hopes of light at the end of this tunnel. But going over the holidays, it's extremely hard when you have to lay all your staff off.
I'm angry. I'm just, I feel like there aren't enough statistics to show that the small businesses like restaurants and gyms are contributing to a high number of cases.
And Hamoud really stressed that takeout will continue to be available, and he would really like to see members of our community continue to support them, because he says small businesses need everybody's support now more than ever before.
A big reason for this lockdown is to create capacity inside of the healthcare system. We've heard about how strapped the hospital system is in Windsor-Essex. What are officials saying about the lockdown?
Well, we told you how earlier this week the CEO of the hospital, he was calling for an immediate shutdown, immediate lockdown. So he's pleased with today's decision, but he is disappointed that it's not happening right away and that it is starting on Monday instead, particularly with how quickly the cases are rising right now.
Unfortunately, on this trajectory, we are probably going to be, unfortunately, number one in the province with respect to positivity rate and cases per capita. And that's a great concern. And having 2 super spreader days happening most likely between now and Monday at 12:01 a.m. raises a ton of concern of where we're going to be in 10 days to 2 weeks from now.
And we also heard from the city today, a number of services are going to be impacted. City Hall, the Parks and Rec building, they will no longer be available to the public. Transit, however, will continue the way it has been, which is different from what happened back in the spring when they shut down services altogether.
Now, this week there were some who argued that the lockdown was coming in too late. What did the province say about that today?
Right, well, we took that question directly to them, Chris, and they say that they feel that the response has been appropriate so far, and right now the focus is trying to halt the exponential rise in cases that we've been seeing.
Have we acted quickly enough? I would say yes, we have, because both the Chief Medical Officer of Health and the local Medical Officer of Health have been following this closely, and they know when to take action and to preserve our hospital capacity and to prevent further community transmission.
So, Chris, we've been working towards this for some time, and just the hope is that these measures will help limit the cases and save some lives. And the lockdown will be in effect for 28 days starting on Monday, but it could be extended depending on how the numbers go. Chris.
Thanks, Kat. The CBC's Katerina Georgieva live tonight. For months, health officials have been raising concerns about the rapid spike of COVID-19 here in Windsor-Essex. We've seen school closures, more deaths, surging case numbers day after day. Let's show you exactly how we got to this point. The province unveiled its color-coded system. Windsor-Essex started in green, but on November 12th, the region reported its highest daily case count in almost 3.5 months. One day later, health officials call for greater enforcement for those violating COVID-19 restrictions. Let's fast forward to November 17th. Windsor-Essex reports its 77th death related to COVID-19, a long-term care resident in his 90s. November 18th, November 20th, two pivotal days for the region. That's when the health unit announced full closures of two separate schools, F.W. Bagley and W.J. Langlois. By November 26th, the region, which is now in the orange zone, reports its 78th COVID-related death, a man in his 60s who had underlying medical conditions. On November 29th, an outbreak is declared at the rehab unit of Hotel du Grace Healthcare. Cases continue to rise across Windsor-Essex, never more significantly than on December 9th, just 2 days ago, when Windsor-Essex reports its largest single-day increase ever, 127 cases. On the same day, the health unit announces the death of a 27-year-old man due to COVID-19. He had no underlying health conditions. A day later, the health unit orders the closure of all elementary and secondary schools in Windsor-Essex. Today, as Windsor-Essex sees 620 active cases, the province announces that the region will move into lockdown. With it comes more announcements from area hospitals. Non-urgent surgeries at Windsor Regional Hospital will stop on Monday. It's happening because of, quote, a potentially critical shortage of acute care beds. Here's what you need to know. Non-urgent elective surgeries that you need to spend a night at the hospital for are being put on pause. That starts Monday. If you can get in and out on the same day, those surgeries will go ahead. And so will urgent surgeries or an OBGYN procedure. Cancer surgeries, they're going to go ahead too. The pause, it's going to add to a long list of people already waiting for a surgery. The hospital's chief of staff says today there's about 1,500 people waiting on a procedure, a backlog caused by the Wave 1 restrictions. Now, the pause went further back in March, and there was a warning today that more cancellations could come. Today was the last day of in-class learning for every student in Windsor-Essex. Yesterday, the health unit issued an order to close schools by Monday, an effort to halt the rising cases in our community. Jacob Barker now on the latest adjustment for students and parents.
Today's final bell meant big adjustments for everybody at David Maxwell Public School.
More difficult because little English, but teacher helped me. Every day helped me.
I'm not too excited, but hopefully we can get through it so we can go back, because I really miss Maxwell.
I feel that she has a magnificent teacher, and when they have an opportunity to work together again, I feel that they're most successful.
But school boards knew the health unit may take this measure and had a plan.
5 days seems like a short amount of time, a lot of work, prep work to get to that. But then once we've done it, we've done it.
We're ready, we're prepared, There's still going to be PD, professional development sessions for teachers and support staff if they think they still need that.
Technology has been one of the biggest challenges. In the last 24 hours, the English School Board gave out 2,500 devices, the Catholic School Board, 1,200.
If families are fine, they still need to have a device. They have to contact their school. If that is an issue, though, we think we got all of them.
One change high school students in the English Board can expect: more FaceTime with their teachers.
Instead of having it only maybe twice a week or 3 times a week, they're going to be getting it every day next week.
Elementary students in the Catholic schools will also see changes.
There'll be a combination.
Bit of a technical issue there. We'll have that story on our website as well. There was good news this week. Canada has approved a COVID-19 vaccine. Dr. Wajid Ahmed told me today that Windsor-Essex will be a priority region. The move to lockdown means healthcare workers in our area will be some of the first in the province to get a shot. But there's still plenty of hurdles.
So right now, the critical question that we are trying to answer is, who are the priority? Obviously, the province and the feds will give us some priorities, but then still, even let's say if they say, okay, go and vaccinate all the long-term care homes and retirement home, we don't have enough vaccine to go ahead and do all of those. And then how do we even sub-prioritize between these long-term care homes and retirement homes? So those are some of the metrics that we are trying to develop right now on top of many other things.
Now, the first doses of the vaccine will be given to people at hospitals in Toronto and Ottawa starting Tuesday. Queen's Park reporter Mike Crawley has the latest.
Ontario is just days away from scenes like this, the first doses of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine given to seniors in England.
There is light at the end of the tunnel. All that remains is for shipments to arrive.
The first shipments are due to arrive in the province on Monday. One comes here to Toronto's University Health Network, the other to the Ottawa Hospital. Both sites performed dry runs today,
including how long it'll take us to take the vaccines out of the ultra-low temperature freezers, thaw them, dilute them with the mixture that we have, prepare them in the syringes, and then be prepared to go to vaccinate the first people that come in.
Those first people will be staff of long-term care homes. Starting Tuesday, 3,000 of them will get their first shot of the 2-dose vaccine. The workers have been chosen from homes at the greatest risk from the virus.
As one of the doctors said to me, by doing that alone, we'll improve the protection of the residents in that long-term care home by 90+% because the COVID-19 enters the home through those people.
The province expects to receive 90,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine in December.
The truth is that this vaccine is liquid gold at this point. We are getting a very limited supply.
Ontario is also on track to receive up to 85,000 doses of another vaccine this month from pharmaceutical company Moderna. Since it doesn't require ultra-low temperature storage, the province wants to take it directly to long-term care homes to vaccinate residents, once approved for use.
Hopefully it will come forward very soon, but we don't have any definite timelines because Health Canada has to do their due diligence and make sure that it's a safe product.
The vaccines can't come soon enough for the hospital system. There are more than 800 people with COVID-19 hospitalized around Ontario, more than 200 of those in intensive care. Mike Crawley, CBC News, Toronto.
One person is dead and 4 others are hurt after part of a building collapsed at a construction site in London. Crews are still working to find one person that's still trapped into the structure. Out of the 4 people currently in the hospital, 2 are in a serious condition. It happened in the city's West End just before noon. Witnesses say they heard, quote, a horrendous crash. A lot of yelling soon after it happened. There's no word yet on a cause. The COVID crisis has caused more people to be dependent on homeless shelters and food banks. With winter coming, the organizations that help the homeless say the need is greater. As CBC's Dale Molnar tells us, they're looking for help.
The food is good. We feel blessed to be alive. I know I do.
Patrick Grope has been homeless for just over a week. He sleeps at the downtown Mission and also comes to street help for food, but winter is coming.
I'm not looking forward to it. I prefer to have my own place.
Firefighters recently collected 150 sleeping bags for street help and 2 other organizations by spending the night on the roof of Fire Hall number 2.
So it's a big community effort on our part to bring awareness to the homeless.
Those at Street Help say they could use all 150 bags.
There's people that aren't accepted into the other shelters in Windsor, and so they have nowhere else to go.
We're really doing a lot by just, mostly by feeding them, and we do get donations for people that need like winter hats, toques, all brand new stuff.
The COVID crisis has doubled the numbers going to Street Help for help. They would like a share of the $5.5 million the city received from the province this week to fight homelessness.
With like $1 million of that, we could renovate our upstairs and have another shelter option for people who aren't accepted into them. Sleeping bags are great, but a roof over your head would be better.
Ron Dunn from the Downtown Mission agrees and would also like to have some of that money.
It's no secret that we intend to build on the corner of McDougall and Shepherd. And it's no secret that we're going to need help.
An anonymous donor gave the mission $400,000 in clothing recently. The mission has kept some for the homeless, but it is selling the rest this weekend at the old downtown library location to raise money for the shelter. City Council still has to decide how to distribute the provincial grant. They get a report in the new year. The firefighters plan to distribute the sleeping bags sometime in the middle of next week. The clothing sale here at the old library branch downtown continues till 9 p.m. tonight, and then again 9 till 9 on Saturday and Sunday. Dale Molnar, CBC News, Windsor.
Throughout this week, we've been hearing from people who are giving back to the community during this difficult time. If you want more information about how to make donations yourself, just go to our website and look for the Sounds of the Season page, cbc.ca/Windsor. Take another live look outside here. A little warmer than it might usually be. No snow on the ground yet. Colette Kennedy's gonna give a look at the full weekend forecast. But we also have something else for you. It's been 5 years since tens of thousands of Syrian refugees arrived in Canada, many here in Windsor.
I like Canada because it's safety for my kids.
We'll hear more about how these two families have had a life that has changed and how it's going in their adopted homes. That's coming up. Joining us now for a live look at the weather is Colette Kennedy. No big day, a lot of news today about the lockdown and what comes next, but the warmth that we're dealing with now at least gives us a bit of relief that we can still go outside and not have to bundle up.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that we're going to be seeing after such a beautiful day today. It's still going to be mild tomorrow, but very wet conditions are coming our way. So it's actually not going to be the best day for travel locally, but even especially if you were planning on heading anywhere else for the weekend. I know a lot of people aren't at this time of year, which is a good thing, but just to let you know, we do have some treacherous road conditions that we're going to be seeing. The high today in Chatham-Kent, in Leamington, Windsor, the decimals switched around a little bit, but everybody right around 9 degrees. So incredible today. As the system comes in tonight, some of the showers are to the north of us. It will work its way in overnight tonight, and then the steadier stuff will be in the early to mid part of the day tomorrow. And all told, we're looking at somewhere in the range of 20 to 25 millimeters, maybe slightly less Leamington, but I'd say around 20 to 25 millimeters from the system. And then a drier day for sure into Sunday, although still some cloud cover. So this is just the leading edge we're catching on our radar. Look at this thing. It is definitely not moisture starved. It's been picking up a lot of this moisture from the Gulf, and that's what's all going to be pumping through Ontario. With that and some colder air, there are areas that are going to be seeing freezing rain. This is what I'm talking about, roadway conditions not being good. Some heavier rain, and then even some snowfall amounts, including here for the Bruce Peninsula, where 10 to 20 centimeters is possible through there. Elsewhere, it's a special weather statement for eastern Ontario because there'll still, even though it's not in the freezing rain warning area, there's still going to be a line of freezing rain, and you could see that along that pink area. For us, this is what we're seeing, the lighter stuff, then it becomes a little bit heavier. As I said, kind of the early part of the day tomorrow, and then by the time we're into the afternoon, it starts peeling away. Still some light showers, but things starting to dry out, and it really pulls to the north of us. And the cloud cover, that's a little bit harder to break out of. We'll likely have some sunny breaks into Sunday, but it's hard to get rid of that altogether, but at least it will be drier. The coldest air that's going to come in behind the system, it's going to wait till the beginning of next week. Overnight temperatures, they are looking like this, and this is what tomorrow, it's unfortunate, at least I hope you got a chance to enjoy some of the weather today, because it's unfortunate they're so mild with the system coming in and those winds picking up from the south to southwest. So it will be somewhat breezy, but it'll also be a sloppy day to go along with those milder temperatures. So we come down closer to seasonal really for the second half of the weekend. It's as we're going into Monday that, as I mentioned, that's when some of the colder air is going to be coming in. That's actually going to be working its way in Monday night. So I know Monday a little bit chillier, but again, that's not that far off for where we should be at this time of year. But some of these nights are going to get quite chilly, and even Tuesday we'll be lucky to make it even to freezing for our high temperature. Likely will be just a little bit below, and then a chance of seeing some flurries coming in midweek next week.
Okay, the ups and downs continue.
Yes, they do. So very mild but wet tomorrow. So everyone take it easy on the roads.
No, absolutely. Thanks, Colette. Enjoy your weekend.
You too.
Now, coming up next, we're going to meet a pair of families that have come to Canada, Syrian refugees, and we're checking in 5 years after thousands were welcomed by our country. About 5 years ago, Canada welcomed thousands of Syrian refugees. For one family, the journey took them from Syria to Lebanon and then to Windsor in 2016. They wanted a better future for their family.
It's actually a good place and safe sometimes.
Because there is too much Canadian here, and they're so nice.
Like to go to school.
Like the language, new schools, new friends, and a lot of places, stores.
Nice. And when I came here, I fear about anything because it's a new country and the new people. I'm fair. When I left 1 year, I met friends. I went to school. After that, I see this place is safe for my kids, better than my country.
Now, their youngest daughter is blind, so they're happy to have health care available for her. Their father was able to get a job right away. He now owns his own flooring business. The mother is the last in the family to get citizenship. She's still waiting for the ceremony. Not every family has had a great experience.
New country, and everything is new for us. Lifestyle here and society, everything here is new and different from our society. And but I think we doing well, and we get a friend. We learn English well. My kids find their own friend.
Now, even though the move was hard for the family, they're prospering. The father was able to purchase the home they now live in. He's teaching Arabic for the Syrian Community Center, and he even got to meet Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, a highlight for him. All the children are in school. Their oldest is just about to graduate high school. That's it for CBC Windsor News. A lot of stuff coming at you today on this lockdown. You can find all of the details on our website, cbc.ca/Windsor. And those details that you'll need to know will be on our morning radio show, Monday morning with Tony Doucette as well. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The Rick Mercer Report is up next. Thanks for watching. Make sure you and your family have a wonderful weekend.